Well, hello everyone and welcome to the next 24 hours. So excited that you're here. Say this with me. Hello, can I speak to the manager, please? Yes, these are words that I have uttered many times in my life, but I want you to listen to this podcast because I'm going to have you say it in a new way, in a way you've never said it before. Hello, can I speak to the manager, please? Get ready to see what that really means. I'm excited to spend some time with you. Tune in to the next 24 hours. Welcome to the next 24 hours, where I'm going to give you real information you can really use to transform your life and work one day at a time. I'll be your host, Curtis Zimmerman. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the next 24 hours. My name is Curtis Zimmerman. I will take you on this journey together. Together, we're going to talk about the next 24 hours of your life and ways to look at your life differently, behave differently in order to create different outcomes in your life. You don't have the past to go over. All you have is right now and the future that we're going to be creating together. That's our journey today. And today I want to talk to you about mindset. Everybody has a mindset in their job, in their relationships, what they bring to work every day. And so here's a mindset I want you to wrap your brain around. When you hear this from somebody else, so you're sitting at a table and you hear somebody say this to the wait staff or to somebody at a department store and you hear this, listen, this is what you hear. Yes, I'm going to need to speak to the manager, please. Or, excuse me, is the manager in? Or I love this one. All right, that does it. I'm going to need to speak to the manager. When you hear that, what do you feel? What do you think? If you've ever been in a management position, I have a very strong suspicion that you just had a little twinge in your gut or your heart or your brain. And what I want to do is talk to you today about the way I use that in order to tell people, congratulations, you're doing an amazing job. So here's my example number one. I had the amazing opportunity in the past with my team here at the Zimmerman Group to work closely with McDonald's, the McDonald's organization, and many owner-operators and many restaurants, talking about my program and them taking real messaging and delivering it actually in the restaurants as a continuity program. That's all great. But one of the things I experienced by spending thousands of hours in different restaurants traveling around the country was this taking time with a manager, talking to them, doing really a deep dive on how they manage, what they need for customer service, what they're trying to demonstrate to everyone that's on their team every day in order to take the brand to the next level. And while I was having one of these conversations, literally it was about, probably a 2-hour conversation with a GM at a McDonald's, 3 times during that conversation, somebody walked in to the restaurant. And they were holding their little bag, their little McDonald's bag, and they were holding it almost over their head and marching up to the counter, and they said these words, "Excuse me, can I talk to the manager, please?" And honestly, for me, I had not really experienced that before, so I didn't really have a reaction to it. I just thought it was interesting. But the manager, right in mid-sentence with me, would stop our conversation, say, "Excuse me for a minute, Curtis," would walk right over there and say, "Hello, how are you doing today? I see you have your bag here. I'm guessing you were in the drive-thru. What seems to be the problem?" And then that person would be kind of on fire, kind of like somebody just killed their cat. It's crazy. "Oh, I didn't get any ketchup. Oh my God." It was nuts. I mean, the way people acted because they didn't get cheese or they got extra cheese, it was insane. But what was interesting for me was the way that manager handled that situation. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. Just so you know, our goal is for you to leave today and feel amazing about McDonald's. So let me just go ahead and take care of that for you. And here's a large fry we want to put on top of this, or here's a hot apple pie. I'm really sorry this happened to you. Or, here's this little coupon. The next time you come in, I want you to have lunch on me. Is there anything else I can do to take the stress away from this little mistake we made? Just so you know, it wasn't intentional, and I hope you come back and visit us soon. I saw this happen 3 times, and me being, 10,000 feet, I don't work at McDonald's. I don't really know how many cars go through the drive-thru. I don't really know the ins and outs at that point. I'm just learning about all of these things. And he explains to me that there is like a 2-hour window between 11 and 1 o'clock where the drive-through, and also like 6:30 in the morning to about 8:30 in the morning, the drive-through is just packed during that time. So this is action time. You need the best people with the headsets. You need the best people loading the food. You got to move it out. There's a sweet spot they're always going for, and that is from the time they place their order, from the time they pick up the food and drive away, they're looking for like 3.5 minutes. If it goes beyond 3.5 minutes, then it's kind of people start getting, I wonder why it's taking so long. The complete experience at McDonald's, their goal is from the time you drive into the parking lot to the time you drive out with whatever food you want, that's a 5-minute window. So if we can hit that 5-minute window, that means people are driving to work and they go, okay, well, I have 5 minutes. I can run in here real quick, get what I need and run out. If you can meet that, then you're doing really well. So I didn't know any of this. Also, I said, let me ask you a question. During those peak times, how many cars go through the drive-thru? Because I don't know the answer to that. Is it 30? Is it 500? I have no idea. And he said, well, during the peak times at one of the restaurants like the one you're in today, which we're doing a lot of volume, you're going to have between 90 and 120 cars come through in that time. So I said, okay, so just so I'm clear, just because I don't know anything, in the last 2 hours since we've been here, there has been anywhere between 150 and 200 cars, 220 cars that have come through the drive-thru. Of that, basically what's happening in my own mind is people are screaming out their order, changing their order, kind of yelling it in this little box. They're hardly slowing down. They take their money, they throw it in the window, and then they drive up. And magically, like a miracle, every single thing they ordered, big, large, with this, without that, extra this, extra that, hold the whatever, all of those things magically come out of this window, brought into their car, hot, fresh, tasty. And out of all of those 200 transactions, you had 1 or 2 that it wasn't perfect. That person had to pull over and come over. So my take on that was very different from his, because his goal is to have 100% perfect, absolutely perfect, satisfied customers every single time. And I get that as a goal. But I also get that we're trying to do this process in 3.5 minutes. And it's crazy how many times they get it right, but we never reflect on that. We never take the time to think about that. So as I drove away, knowing I was going to be visiting 3 other McDonald's that day, here's what I did at the very next McDonald's. Okay, get ready. Here we go. So I go through the drive-thru. I get a large fry, and I get a Coke. And I get those 2 things. And I'm in the drive-thru, and I'm kind of looking at my watch now. I know it's 3.5 minutes. That's the goal. How are they doing? And I'm assessing it. And then I get that, and I go and I park. And then I thought, oh, I'm so excited about this. I grab the bag of French fries, and I grab the Coke, and I storm into the restaurant. And I'm holding it... It's so awesome. I'm holding it up over my head, and I walk right up to the counter and I go, I need to talk to the manager. And every person that was working at the restaurant and every person in the line, they all shrugged because they knew exactly what was going on. Because they've seen this, somebody in the drive-thru, they're in a rush, and oh, it's not perfect. They can't wait to come and scream at someone. So I came in with that energy, and I was angry, and I needed to talk to the manager. So sure enough, the girl behind the counter, oh, yes, sir, no problem, and back. Finally, from the back ether of McDonald's comes the manager, and he's, there. He's ready to rock and roll. And here's what I said. Just so you know, I've been coming here now for about 3 weeks, and today I'm in a rush. Look at me. I'm an important person, and I got my fries, and I got my drink, and my order was absolutely perfect every single time the last 3 weeks. This is ridiculous. And then I just let it lay there, and I just sat quietly. And he looked at me, and you know that thing dogs do where they kind of turn their head to one side like, That's exactly what he did. And then all the employees did the same thing, and all the people in line, and then he just started laughing. And he started laughing, and he started laughing. And then, believe it or not, the employees clapped. They were like, yeah. And the point that I was trying to drive home to him and everyone else is imagine if every single person that you got the order right had to come in and say thank you. Imagine how different that would feel than the 2 people out of 220 that had one little thing that wasn't right, and they come in and they're all upset. We need to celebrate how much we're winning every day, and we need to do that more. And I did that recently because I decided I saw somebody when I was on the road, and I saw them just doing a fantastic job, and I decided to say, you know what? I need to have an employee of the month. And I travel a lot, and I see a lot of people doing extraordinary work, and I want to find a way to celebrate that. So what I did was I fly Delta. I have over 1 million miles on Delta Airlines. I love Delta Airlines. And when I land home at Cincinnati, CVG, I land home and I wait for my bag. Oh, by the way, I do go into baggage claim about twice a year. And I say, just so you know, this is my 27th flight on Delta. And you get my bag here every single time. I haven't had one lost bag. This is ridiculous. I do that too, and their heads obviously explode when I do that. I just love doing that. I want you to do that to somebody this week. At any rate, there I am waiting for my bag, and I see this lady kind of in the distance, and she's taking every single bag. It comes out onto that giant carousel that rolls around in a circle, and you wait for your bag to come out. And oftentimes the bags come out really quickly, and they're kind of stacked on each other, and you have to reach over them and kind of fight people to get to your bag. And I see this woman off in a distance, and as it's coming off the carousel, it's coming off the conveyor belt, she's grabbing every single bag, and she's flipping them, and she's turning them. And she's flipping them, and she's turning them. And I'm watching her, and I'm thinking, obviously, based by the outfit, she's a Delta employee. And I haven't really seen this behavior before, even though I fly all over, and I'm on all different airlines and all different airports, mostly Delta, like I mentioned. I've never seen this. So I walk, and I start to get a little closer, and I see her name is Zelda. And she's there flipping those, and then it dawns on me on what she's actually doing. What she's doing is taking the time to make sure every handle is facing out, making sure that every bag is facing like the customer, and making sure they're not stacked on one another, so then that me, as a Delta customer, I'm standing there waiting for my bag. I can easily grab it, pull it off the carousel, and put it down safely. I'm not climbing over other people. So it's something that she does, and I have to be honest with you, most people in line that are waiting for the bag, they're looking at their phone, they're chasing their kid, they're hugging their person who just came back from, combat in some Iraq or something, and they're not really focused on that. So it's not noticed that much, but it's noticed by her. And she knows that ultimately people's experience, the final thing they're going to do as they take their bag off the Delta carousel is going to be easier and more enjoyable because of the work she's doing. And she was my employee of the month. She was somebody that was going above and beyond to make someone's experience even better. Even though most people weren't going to even recognize it, she knew it made a difference. So she went the extra mile. And that to me is what great employees do. That's what great leaders do, is they see something, and whether the customer even knows it's going on or not, it might be behind the scenes. They know their customer experience is going to be better because of it. And they do it. She's not making more money per hour because she's doing that. You're not going to make more money per hour because you're doing the right thing the right way. And you can go and sit and not do your job and make the same amount. She was proving what an employee of the month really should be. And somebody that's celebrated for seeing the task and saying, how can I make this amazing? You know, I've heard this before in that every single person should spend at least 6 months working as a frontline employee, working in food service, working as a waiter or a waitress, because it will give you the experience of what it feels to be on the other side of that. And I have to tell you, I have seen people take out their frustrations on the frontline workers, on the people that are customer facing so many times in my life, and it always makes me feel really sad for that person. So I was at a conference. I was the keynote speaker at a big conference, really excited to be there. And I was checking in at the Marriott. I stay at the Marriott a lot, obviously. And as I was waiting in line, there was another speaker that I actually knew who it was, and a best-selling author and kind of a big deal. And as I was standing in line looking at him, all of the things went through my brain of, wow, I've read the book and supposed to be an amazing person, so excited to share the stage with that person. And then I was just sitting there reflecting on that. And then I started overhearing the conversation. And the conversation went something like this. What do you mean my room's not ready? I mean, this is ridiculous. Do you not know the status I have at the Marriott? No. I don't think you're listening to me. I am here because I am one of the keynote speakers. You know, I'm a best-selling author, and you need to be getting me a room right now. Listen, get the manager down here. I am going to have your job unless you get me a room in the next 5 minutes. I'm not playing around. I don't think you know who I am. Wow. That really happened. I was really standing there and experienced that, watching this amazing young lady so in her Marriott uniform, so excited to be like friendly and helpful, and he was destroying her. He was destroying her. She was almost in tears, probably went behind the counter and went and hid in the back room and was in tears because his ego and who he was so inflated. And I have to be honest with you, my opinion of that person shifted, and I'll never think of that. I will never buy another book or listen to that person's opinion for the rest of my life. That's real life. And I'm telling you that we need to stop doing that. We need to stop putting off our frustration. Maybe the guy, I don't know, maybe he flew for 2 days and he didn't have enough sleep, and I got a million excuses, but you can't take that out on these kinds of people. That's not finding what's good in your employees. That's not finding on, wow, this is all about you now. And I want to tell you that was so upsetting to me. So that is one of my problems I have with people that are forward-facing, with customers all day and interacting with customers. Have a heart and remember what they're doing there. So what do I want you to do over the next 24 hours? I want you to take that concept. And in the next 24 hours, wherever you are, out to lunch, out to dinner, having a coffee, I want you to find somebody doing something amazing, and I want you to call them out on it. And I want you to ask to talk to the manager. Here's the way it looks to you. I'm enjoying one of my favorite brands, a coffee brand that I love to go to, and the person made it perfectly. It's hot. They were pleasant. This is great. Excuse me, can I speak to the manager, please? As I hold my coffee in my hand, looking at it with, that face. Oh no, here we go. Hi. So my name's Curtis, and I'm here about 3 times a week, and I wanted to let you know that Karen right there every day greets me. She knows my name. She knows my order before I give it, and it comes out very consistently, tasting the same way every single time I come. And I wanted to make sure you know that for me, Karen is my employee of the month. I don't know if she's your employee of the month. She should be, but I wanted to let you know how much I appreciated your leadership style, because you're obviously giving her everything she needs to make my coffee perfectly. That's all I wanted to share. Have a great day and walk off. Do that in the next 24 hours at least once, someplace that you love to go to, or when you see somebody doing something amazing. Go live the dream by helping other people get to live their dream. Hey, thank you for listening to the next 24 hours. I want to know, do you want to live the dream? Because if you do, all you have to do is go to curtiszimmerman.com, click on Want to Live the Dream, and I'm going to send you out an official Living the Dream wristband as a gift. Remember, in order to live the dream, you have to make the next 24 hours count. The clock is ticking.